Good evening, Cleveland and Columbus sports fans. This is Jen B, and you're listening live to the Show of the Land on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Tonight, we are going to talk about who is getting some wins in Nationwide Arena. And it's not just the Blue Jackets. We will talk Blue Jackets, of course. We will talk the Monsters, Columbus Fury, Columbus Crew, Cleveland Crunch, Cleveland Cavaliers, Cleveland Charge. We'll talk about the Browns a little bit. We'll talk about the Guardians some. And we'll talk about some college sports. But first, we will talk about some hockey and some winning happening in Nationwide Arena. That is right. The Blue Jackets got a win. So nice to see. So we will talk about that. And we will, of course, get into what's happening with the Monsters. Trade deadline coming up. The Blue Jackets going to do anything else? They already did something. We'll talk about that too. And it's going to be a fun show. Because that Columbus Fury, they sure gave us something to talk about. Before we get started on tonight's show, let's get a little housekeeping out of the way. For the last 9 years, IE Sports Radio has brought you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, check out our daily updated website, iesportsradio.com, for sports news, the IE Sports Radio blog, our Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month, pages dedicated to each podcast, our IE Sports Radio community forum, and stop by the shop and check out the merch. Thank you for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports. And, of course, we've got to give a special shout-out to our sponsors, Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet. And you can follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky and check out their website, planetjerky.net. Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can get with Cecilia to place your orders at sealthedeal_wax stamps on Instagram. And you can find them on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals. And once again, thank you for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports. All right, let's get into some hockey. So the Blue Jackets played just a couple of games over the last week. Tuesday, they played the LA Kings in LA, and unfortunately, they lost 5-1. Adam Boqvist had the lone goal, and it was his first goal of the season. Johnny Gaudreau had another goal negated after a challenge for goalie interference that was committed by Boone Jenner. Boone Jenner felt a little bad about that one because Johnny had been trying so hard to get a goal, and that was his second game in a row that he had one taken away on a challenge. Both, I believe, were for goalie interference. Anyway, Wednesday they played the Anaheim Ducks in Anaheim. And in the first period, Zach Werenski, Johnny Gaudreau finally got his goal. And Zach Werenski again scored goals in the first period. And the Blue Jackets were winning 3-0 at the end of the first period. Then Sean Kuraly got a goal in the second, and then the Ducks got 2 more. Then Daniil Tarasov got hit in the face with a hockey stick. It went right through the eye slot. He was hit by his own player, Adam Boquist, and fell to the floor, or ice, and was face down on the ice when the Ducks scored that second goal. Once he got up, he immediately skated off and went straight back to the locker room. So Elvis Merzlikins came in and gave up 2 more goals and let the Ducks tie it up. So at the end of 2, it was tied 4-4. In the third period, Tarasov made his return, thankfully, because Elvis was not playing well. And Yegor Chinnikov scored a goal. Then Sean Kuraly scored his second goal of the game. And then Boone Jenner got an empty netter to close things out, 7-4. So the Blue Jackets got a win, 7-4 in Anaheim. And Zach Werenski recorded his 5th multi-goal game, passing Seth Jones for the most multi-goal games by a defenseman in Blue Jackets history. The Blue Jackets traded Emil Bemstrom to the Pittsburgh Penguins for Alex Nylander and a conditional 6th-round pick in 2026. I asked around, and I have been told that Alex Nylander is a solid player and will be a good fit on the Blue Jackets' 4th line, which is not where he is. He's actually on the 3rd line. But we will see. He did play one of these last couple of games, but he didn't really do much. But we'll see. We will see. Larry B in the chat says no one likes the Blue Jackets. That's because he's a Ducks fan. Oh, anyway, Johnny Gaudreau and his wife Meredith welcomed a baby boy on Thursday night. His name is Johnny Edward, and all are doing well. Following the game against the Ducks on Wednesday, Boone... Larry said I could stop laughing. Anyway, following the game on Wednesday in Anaheim, Boone Jenner went to team management and asked that they move up the flight back to Columbus so that Johnny could make it back in time for the birth of his son. He was going to take a commercial flight, but the rest of the team pretty much said, no, you're not doing that. You could get delayed. You could miss it. You're not going to miss it. So they moved up the team flight so that Johnny could make it back in time, and he did, and he welcomed his baby boy into the world. So congratulations to the Gaudreaus. On a Friday, the Blue Jackets played the Buffalo Sabres in Columbus. Dmitry Voronkov scored a power play goal. And then the Sabres tied it up, and it was 1-1 at the end of 1. It was still 1-1 at the end of 2. And the Sabres took the lead in the third period, and the Blue Jackets couldn't get another goal in there, so they ended up losing 2-1. But all hope is not lost. On Sunday, the Blue Jackets played the New York Rangers. Alex Nylander made his debut in place of Alexander Texier, who was out with an illness. Matthew Olivier and Rempe got into a fight early in the first period. It was pretty ugly. Rempe kind of got his ass kicked. But, whatever. He asked for it, like literally asked for it. So, whatever. To each their own. Then Dmitry Voronkov scored a goal. And then the Rangers tied it up. And at the end of one, it was tied at 1. Then Kirill Marchenko scored a goal in the second. The Rangers tied it up again. Then Jack Roslovic scored a goal. And then Ivan Provorov scored a goal. And the Blue Jackets were up 4-2 at the end of 2. And they managed to maintain that lead and won 4-2 over the New York Rangers. And here I thought I was going to be talking all about how the Fury is the only team that can win at Nationwide Arena. The Blue Jackets won. So against the New York Rangers to boot. Go figure. Elvis Merzlikins had 38 saves in the net, and Dmitry Voronkov now has 16 goals on the season, the second most among NHL rookies. The Blue Jackets' next games are tomorrow against the New York Rangers, Thursday against the Carolina Hurricanes, Saturday against the Chicago Blackhawks, and Monday against the Vegas Golden Knights. So, not so sure I'll be talking about much more winning from the Blue Jackets, but hey, they got that one. Actually, they got 2. They beat the Ducks. Sorry, Larry. Sorry. And the Rangers. So, on to the Cleveland Monsters. On Thursday, the Monsters played the Hartford Wolfpack. And I think I mentioned last week that they didn't fare so well against them the last time they played. But they got the win, 4-3, in a shootout. Brendan Gaunce, Jake Christensen, and Roman Akan had the goals in regular time. And Travis Wolanski and Hunter McCown secured goals in the shootout to secure the win for the Blue Jackets. Friday, the Monsters. Sorry, I'm getting my hockey teams mixed up. Friday, the Monsters played the Providence Bruins and lost 4-3 in overtime. Brendan Gaunce, David Jiricek, and Travis Wolanski had the goals in the loss. And then Sunday, they played the Providence Bruins again and lost again 4-3, this time in a shootout. Luca Del Bel Belluz had a goal, and Travis Wolanski had 2 goals. The Monsters' next games are tomorrow against the Toronto Marlies, Friday against the Chicago Wolves, Saturday against the Chicago Wolves, and Monday against the Grand Rapids Griffins. They are still in first place in the North Division, and they are up by 5 points over Syracuse. So hopefully they can continue to maintain that lead. I'm hearing rumor that when Adam Fantilli is ready to get back to playing, he will be sent down to Cleveland. Well, down and up, because it's north, but it's down a league. You know what I mean? Anyway, to Cleveland for rehab, whatever, and to kind of help the Monsters on their playoff run. So we will see what happens with that. I have not heard any word on when that may be, when Adam will be ready to return. But that is what I am hearing the plan may be. Davidson had said he probably wouldn't make any moves before the trade deadline, since they are in the process of hiring a new GM, but obviously that wasn't true because he did make a trade. I don't know that there will be any more trades, though many fans that I have seen commenting, myself included, would not be opposed to Elvis Merce Lincoln's going bye-bye. He's very up and down lately, ever since he requested a trade about a month ago. And when he does play, he's either all the way on or all the way off. Like, there's no in between. And he's just always got an illness. I'm doing air quotes. An illness. So I don't know what's going on with him. So we will see if the Blue Jackets make any more moves. But they still haven't hired a GM. I haven't heard any ramblings on who they have and have not interviewed or anything along those lines. So we will keep our ears open for that and see what happens. And I will bring it to you as soon as we have it. But for right now, that is going to wrap things up for all things hockey. So I am going to take a short break, and when we get back, we will be talking some Browns and some soccer. So stay tuned to the Show of the Land on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Davidson.
It's your boy, Dentarius Law.
And we are the hosts of Fast Break here on IE Sports Radio, where we discuss everything in the world of basketball from prep to the pros.
You guys should definitely check us out, man. Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We got all the basketball information you guys need, so we look forward to you guys listening in.
And please do, because we are the best basketball show on this side of the Mississippi. And please do check us out on Twitter at FastBreakISR. D-Lock, where's our time again?
8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. That give you guys plenty of time on a Sunday.
Tune in.
It's IE Sports Radio. It is your direct feed for all that is sports. It is Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris every Tuesday night right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris is the most comprehensive view on Philadelphia sports exclusively right here on IE Sports Radio. You know what it is, your direct feed for all that is sports. Tuesday night, IE Sports Radio, Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris.
You're back live with Jen B on the Show of the Land on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Before we get into the football and football, just want to give a shout out to the chat room. We have Taryn Rodriguez, host of Set Point, our volleyball show. Be sure to check that out. Usually on Mondays. Today it was today. I mean, this week it was today on Tuesday. And he's also the host of the SoCal Supreme Sports Show, which is on Fridays. And we have Ralph Calise, host of the Yinzer Report, which was right before me at 5 o'clock Eastern. And we also have Larry B., the host of The Defining Moment, 3 and Out College Edition, and co-host of the Sports Couple Perspectives with his wife, Cecilia B. So be sure to check out all those great shows. Now for some Browns news. There's not a whole lot going on with the Browns right now. Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski are in Indianapolis at the NFL Combine. And the Pro Football Hall of Fame announced it will be having a temporary exhibit titled A Legacy Unleashed, featuring the Browns and their storied history. And it will be beginning on March 15th. So definitely something to check out. I hope to get down there while this exhibit is being shown, because I have never been to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. My parents decided to go one day when I was in junior high. I was at a volleyball tournament, and they took my brother and left me at the volleyball tournament. Wasn't that nice? Because why would I want to go? Because I wasn't a football fan or anything, right? Whatever. Anyway. Childhood traumas. The Browns have released their official list of free agents, and it's quite the list, let me tell you. It is. Linebacker Matthew Adams, punter Corey Bojorquez, tight end Harrison Bryant, tackle Jerron Christian Sr., quarterback Jeff Driscoll, guard Michael Dunn, defensive tackle Jordan Elliott, quarterback Joe Flacco, cornerback Mike Ford Jr., wide receiver Marquise Goodwin, wide receiver Jakeem Grant Sr., safety Deron Harmon, fullback/center Nick Harris, defensive tackle Shelby Harris, running back Kareem Hunt, defensive tackle Maurice Hurst II, linebacker Jordan Kanasic, safety Rodney McLeod Jr., linebacker Jacob Phillips, wide receiver James Prochet II, defensive end Zadarius Smith, linebacker Sione Takitaki, linebacker Anthony Walker Jr., quarterback PJ Walker, and exclusive rights free agent Sam Kamara. That is a lot of free agents. So you may have noticed that I said linebacker a lot. Larry said today it was today. That's just me. Okay, anyway. So you will notice that I said a lot of linebackers. Pretty much every linebacker on the roster not named JOK is a free agent, with the exception of Mahmoud Diabate, who the Browns signed as an undrafted free agent last season. So they have, I believe, 2, maybe 3. Oh, they also have Tony Fields. Forgot about him. So I think they have three linebackers on the roster. Tony Fields is like more of a special teams guy. You know, he can come in, from time to time if somebody's hurt or whatever. But, yeah. Definitely need to get some linebackers. All the defensive tackles, with the exception of Siaki Ika, who they drafted last season, and Dalvin Tomlinson, who they signed last offseason to a 3-year contract, are also free agents. So, defensive line, also an issue. Surprise, surprise. When isn't it? For the Browns. So, also, there's a lot of wide receivers on that list. So I expect that in free agency, the Browns will be targeting defensive tackle, wide receiver, possibly, linebacker, possibly a third quarterback, and possibly a third running back, though they technically have 3 because Pierre Strong is still on the roster, but he's not the greatest third running back, and since we don't yet know what Nick Chubb's status will be come the beginning of the season, running back may be up there, though I also expect they will take a running back in the draft, so we'll see. We will see what happens. Yeah, definitely linebacker and defensive tackle. Big holes as of this moment. Well, not this moment, but the moment the new league year starts and they are officially free agents. Big holes. Andrew Berry spoke today at 12:30, and Kevin Stefanski will be speaking tomorrow at 1:15. Andrew Berry didn't really say much, a whole lot of GM speak. He did say that the increased salary cap doesn't change anything that they were planning to do. They expected the increase, so, doesn't really change their plans at all. He said there was nothing new on Nick Chubb, and any discussions between the front office and Nick Chubb and his team will be kept between the front office and Nick Chubb and his team. Surprise, surprise. He did confirm that Deshaun Watson will start throwing next month, so that is good news for Mr. Watson. He is progressing well on his shoulder recovery. But that is pretty much all I have on the Browns. Hopefully I will have more next week now that everybody's kind of back to work. I expect some contract restructures, possibly some extensions and restructures. The Browns are still right there at the cap, even with the higher cap. I'm hearing mixed reports based on Over the Cap and Sport Track, whatever the sites are. They are still over the cap. One said 6.6 million and the other one said 7.5 or 7.7 over, but I'm also hearing from beat reporters saying that they're actually 6 million under. So I don't know what's true. It is what it is. But I mean, they're going to need more money to fill the holes that they need to fill. So I expect to see some restructures and or restructures and extensions in the coming days. And I would expect that they would re-sign Corey Bojorquez at the very least. It has come out for sure that Joe Flacco and Zadarius Smith will be testing the free agent market, so I don't expect either of them to be re-signed, at least not immediately. And they may re-sign a couple of the defensive tackles, but and maybe Sione Takitaki, but other than Maurice Hurst, maybe Shelby Harris, maybe Jordan Elliott, Sione Takitaki, and Corey Bojorquez, I really don't expect that they will re-sign any of the other free agents. Maybe Jordan Kanasic, because he's pretty cheap linebacker and he's really good on special teams. But other than that, and maybe Michael Dunn for guard depth, because they definitely need some depth on the offensive line, because they are getting pretty thin there. Though they have too many tackles. They have too many tackles and not enough guards, so we'll see how that plays out. On to the Columbus Crew. The Crew signed defender Mohamed Farsi to a multi-year extension through the 2027 season. The Crew, too, signed goaltender Cole Johnson and loaned... Oh, wait, no, this is not the Crew 2. The Crew loaned defender Keegan Hughes to the USL Championship side Loudoun United FC, but retained the right to recall him at any time during the MLS regular season, subject to roster compliance guidelines. The team received their championship rings prior to kickoff of the season opener on Saturday, where they faced Atlanta United. Cucho Hernandez scored a goal at the 27th minute, and that was the only goal in the game, and the Crew won 1-0. Mohamed Farsi, who was just extended, was down with an injury, with players signaling that he needed to be subbed out. He did leave the game. I have not heard any updates, so I am not sure of his status, but and the game was not televised, so I was listening to it on the radio, iHeartRadio, and so I didn't see it, but from the sounds of it, he had to be helped off the pitch, and it did not sound good. So still waiting for an update from the Crew on that, so we will see where things stand with him. But Aiden Morris was named to the bench of the team of Matchday for match days 1 and 2. And Cucho Hernandez was the man of the match for the Columbus Crew, of course, since he scored the only goal. And their next match will be Saturday against Minnesota. Then we also had, on Saturday, the Cleveland Crunch played Rapid City FC. Tom Beck had 2 goals in the first quarter. Admir Suljevic had a goal. And Mikey Juresic also... I take that back. Suljevic had 2 goals. Mikey Juresic had 1. And the Crunch was up 5-0 at the end of the first quarter. Admir Suljevic got the hat trick in the second quarter with 1 goal. And Ryan Minnick scored a goal. And the Crunch was up 8-3 at the half. Tom Beck got the hat trick in the third. And the Crunch was up 9-6 at the end of 3. Then Aiden Bozic scored a goal. David Jordan and Jacob Roberto each scored 2. And the Crunch won 14-7. The man of the match was Mario Musa with 14 saves. And the Crunch's next match will be Saturday against the Colorado Bucks. The Crunch is currently second at 5-1 behind the Omaha Kings. So both the Crew and the Crunch doing well in the football arena. But that is going to wrap things up for all things football and football. So I am going to take another short break, and when I come back, we will talk some basketball. So stay tuned to the Show of the Land on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
IE Sports Radio fans, it's your boy, the SoCal Saint, the host of the premier professional wrestling podcast online today, the IE Elite Wrestling Show. If you're a fan and have a passion for the world of professional wrestling, this is the show for you. I take you inside the ropes with all the athleticism, high-flying, and hard-hitting action, and then we take it backstage with all the backstage drama and backstabbing that goes on in the world of professional wrestling today. If something's going on in the world of professional wrestling, rest assured, the SoCal Saint knows what's going on, and he's going to let you know too. If you're a fan, check us out every Tuesday, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, only on IE Sports Radio. The IE Elite Wrestling Show, Your direct feed for all that is professional wrestling on the only network that is your direct feed for all that is sports. Check us out.
Hello, ladies and sinners. Hello, sports fans around the world. Hello, IE Sports family. This is Cale Henderson, the host of IE Vegas, the Sin City Sports Show, presented by IE Sports Radio. If you folks are interested in sports in the Vegas area, if you're wanting to have a blast for 1 hour, every Tuesday night from 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, this is a show built for the Vegas sports fans, where we feature the Las Vegas Raiders, the Las Vegas Golden Knights, the Las Vegas Aces, and the University of Las Vegas, Nevada Rebels. Hopefully, fingers crossed, MLB team coming soon. Either way, if you folks are looking to have a blast for 1 hour each and every week, tune in Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you folks are interested in Vegas sports news, go to our Twitter, at SinCities_IESR, and you can speak with me, the host, Cale Henderson, at Cale_Henderson on Twitter. At any time, be happy to reply. Always want to reach out to our fans. Again, the Sin City Sports Show, presented by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
You're back live with Jen B on the Show of the Land on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We're going to do basketball backwards today, just because that's how I have it in my notes, so that's how I'm going to do it. We're going to start with college basketball. Ohio State women's basketball head coach Kevin McGuff was named to the Naismith Women's College Coach of the Year watch list. Ohio State women's basketball's Ava Watson reached 2,000 career points. OSU women's basketball's Celeste Taylor hit 1,500 career points. On Thursday, the Mount Union men's basketball team won 91-85 over Heidelberg to advance to the OAC championship game against John Carroll, and John Carroll came out victorious 88-86. John Carroll has been invited to the NCAA Division III men's basketball tournament and will face SUNY New Paltz on March 1st. Ohio State men's basketball played at Minnesota on Thursday and lost 88-79. Sunday they played Michigan State and won 60-57. Their next games will be Thursday against Nebraska and Sunday against Michigan. The women's team, who is still ranked number 2, played at Penn State on Thursday and won 82-69. And then on Sunday they played Maryland and won 79-66. And with that win, clinched at least a share of the Big Ten title. So congratulations to the Lady Buckeyes. Their next games are Wednesday against Michigan and Sunday at the number 6 Iowa Hawkeyes. And that will be their last game of the regular season. Akron men's basketball played at Toledo and lost 72-64. Then they played Kent State on Friday and won 83-70. Their next games are tonight at Ohio and Saturday versus NIU. The women's team played Bowling Green on Wednesday and lost 74-68. And Saturday they played Kent State and lost 73 to 51. Their next games are Wednesday at Ball State and Saturday versus NIU. Kent State men's basketball played Ohio on Tuesday and lost 63 to 57, and then Friday they lost to Akron 83 to 70. Their next games are tonight against Buffalo and Saturday against Central Michigan. The women's team played Ohio on Wednesday and lost 79 to 71, and then Saturday they played Akron and won 73 to 51. Their next games are Wednesday at Kent State and Saturday against Buffalo. Youngstown State men's basketball played at Milwaukee on Friday and won 84 to 80, and at Green Bay on Sunday and won 71 to 59. Their next game is Wednesday against Detroit Mercy, and that will be their last game of the season. The Youngstown women's team played at Northern Kentucky on Saturday and won 68 to 64. Their next games are tonight against Cleveland State and Saturday at Fort Wayne, and that will be their last game of the season. Cleveland State men's basketball played Northern Kentucky on Thursday and lost 75 to 73. Sunday they were at Robert Morris and won 73 to 71. Their next games are Wednesday against Green Bay and Saturday against IUPUI, and that will be their last game of the regular season. The women's team played IUPUI on Wednesday and won 75 to 52, and Saturday at Robert Morris and won 79 to 40. Their next games are tonight at Youngstown and Saturday against Northern Kentucky, and that will be their last game of the regular season. Now on to the Cleveland Charge. On Friday, the Cleveland Charge played the Capital City Go-Go. And I still love that name. I loved that name last week. I still love it. I want to play for the Go-Go's. Anyway, the Charge lost 120 to 107 on Friday. Moni Bates led the team with 25 points. Sharif Cooper recorded a double-double with 11 points and 10 assists. On Saturday, they again played the Capital City Go-Go, and this time they won 128 to 111. Moni Bates led with 32 points, and Pete Nance had a double-double with 12 points and 10 rebounds. The Charge have 3 upcoming games: Wednesday at College Park Skyhawks, Friday again at the College Park Skyhawks, and Sunday against the Windy City Bulls. Now for some Cavs basketball. It was not a good week for the Cavs. On Thursday, they played the Orlando Magic. Donovan Mitchell was out with an illness, so the starting 5 were Darius Garland, Max Strus, Isaac Okoro, Evan Mobley, and Jarrett Allen. At the end of one, the Cavs were down 29 to 24. They were down 54 to 50 at the half, down 86 to 82 at the end of 3, and they lost 116 to 109. Strus, Allen, and Garland led with 18 points each. Garland and Allen both had double-doubles. Garland with 18 points and 10 assists, and Allen with 18 points and 10 rebounds. Friday, they were in Philadelphia against the 76ers. Donovan Mitchell was still out with an illness, and the starting 5 were the same: Garland, Strus, Okoro, Mobley, and Allen. At the end of one, they were tied at 25. At the end of the half, they were down 53 to 50. They were down 74 to 70 at the end of 3, and they ended up losing 104 to 97. Jarrett Allen led with 24 points. On Sunday, they played the Washington Lizards, and the starting 5 were Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Max Strus, Evan Mobley, and Jarrett Allen. And Mike Pat, the host of our Let's Whine About DMV sports show, asked me during the game if there was anything he could do to secure a win for his Wizards, because he just wanted them to get a win in February. So I said, my response was, can you get Tristan Thompson unsuspended? But alas, that did not happen. And so at the end of one, the Cavs were down 31-27. At the end of the half, they were up 55-54. At the end of three, they were up 87-80, and they ended up winning 114-105. Jarrett Allen led with 22 points and a double-double with 12 rebounds. Karis LeVert also recorded a double-double with 18 points and 12 rebounds. The Cavs then signed Sharif Cooper from the Cleveland Charge to a 10-day contract. So congratulations to Mr. Cooper. I got Coopers all the way around. Let me tell you. There is a Cooper on every team. Not really, but like 3 of them. The Charge have a Cooper, the Fury has a Cooper, and the Browns have a Cooper. So I just love the Coopers. Anyway, the Cavs' next games are tonight against the Dallas Mavericks, Wednesday against the Chicago Bulls, Friday at the Detroit Pistons, and Sunday against the New York Knicks. So hopefully they can get back to winning, because they only won one of those games, and I do not like it. But that is going to wrap things up for all things basketball. I am going to take a short break. And then when I come back, we are going to talk about that Columbus Fury team and what they accomplished this past week, because it is something special. So stay tuned to the Show of the Land on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hey there, sports fans. Are you looking for a sports show that maybe isn't 100% about sports?
Then you might want to check out the Sports Couple Perspectives right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Most sports shows cover only scores and stats, and while we're not opposed to that, we dig a little deeper into sports issues and some of the hottest topics in athletics.
In addition to sports, we take a journey through my neck of the woods, pop culture, with movie reviews of both sports and non-sports films.
Speaking of pop culture, make sure to participate in our game nights, where we quiz each other on our specialties, and you, the listeners, can win IE Sports Radio apparel.
We always have a great time learning more about each other's worlds, one show at a time.
So join us each week on the Sports Couple Perspectives, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's up, everybody? This is Taryn Rodriguez. Are you a fan of volleyball? Are you a fan of Thunder Spikes? Then I have the show for you, Set Point, where I cover NCAA men's and women's volleyball, high school boys and girls volleyball, beach volleyball, and even professional volleyball. Catch the action every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's good, fight fans? It's your boy, Marcus Los Great, here to give you what you want, here to give you what you need. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm coming to you live, straight from your mama's basement with a crispy, awesome white tea. We are coming to you live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
You're back live with Gen V on the Show of the Land on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. So let's talk about that Columbus Fury. You may recall last time we spoke about the Columbus Fury, they were 0-2. Well, they are no longer. On Wednesday, they finally had their home opener against the Omaha Supernovas, and the Fury won set 1, 25-12. They won set 2, 25-21. They lost set 3, 25-23, and they won set 4, 25-23 for a 3-1 victory over the Supernovas. Reagan Cooper had 22 kills and 3 blocks. Asia O'Neal had 15 kills and 4 blocks. Megan Courtney Lush had 11 kills and 1 block. Saturday, they were at the Vegas Thrill, and they won set 1, 26-24, set 2, 25-23, and set 3, 25-20 for the set sweep, winning 3-0, and it was the first franchise sweep. Then last night, they again played the Vegas Thrill, but this time in Columbus. They won set 1, 25-23. They lost set 2, 25-22. They won set 3, 25-21, and set 4, 25-23 for a 3-1 victory over the Thrill. So the Columbus Fury, who was 0-2, is now 3-2. Reagan Cooper had 21 kills, 2 blocks, and 1 ace. Caitlin Horde had 11 kills and 1 block. Janasia Moore had 9 kills, 2 blocks, and 1 ace. Samantha Driscoll had 9 kills and 1 block. And Rai Santos had 38 assists. I almost said 83. That would be crazy. But 38. Their next match will be on a Sunday against the Orlando Valkyries in Orlando. They have moved from second to last to 4th in Pro Football Federation rankings, I believe. That's right. I forgot. I was going to check it again because they hadn't updated it when I checked it last night. So let me just double check that, because I think there was still another game to be played last night after the Furies match. 1 second while I pull up the standings. Volleyball Federation standings. There it is. Right there in my search. Imagine that. Oh. They're in 3rd. They are in 3rd place now. They were in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They were in 6th. They are now in 3rd. So, that is amazing. I am so proud of these ladies. They really figured out a way to come together. Asia O'Neal was out. The 2 games against the Thrill, she did come in for a serve last night I think it was I want to say it was set 4. Might have been set 3. I don't remember, but she came in for like a serve and then she went back out. But she rolled her ankle in the match against the Supernovas, so it was not overly surprising that she was out again, because the reason that she hadn't played in the first couple of matches was because she had ankle surgery. So not surprising that she was not in there. And then Megan Courtney Lush was also out last night. So when I heard that, I was like, oh no, how is this going to work without both of them? But they figured it out, and they pulled out the wins. So I am very, very proud of these ladies. Now, on to some baseball. I just hope the Fury doesn't fall off again with another break between games. They don't play again until Sunday, and then their next game after that, I think, is the following Saturday. So they have a couple of gaps again. I mean, they're nothing like the gap between the first game and the second game. So hopefully they can maintain their chemistry that they have built up and keep going on strong. So the Guardians home opener has sold out, and it is the 31st consecutive sellout for a home opener. Saturday, the Guardians played the Reds in spring training, and the starting lineup was left field Stephen Kwan, second base Andres Jimenez, third base Jose Ramirez, first base Josh Naylor, right field Ramon Laureano, designated hitter Davison De Los Santos, catcher Bo Naylor, shortstop Brian Rocchio, center field Miles Straw, and the starting pitcher was Carlos Carrasco, otherwise known as Cookie Carrasco. I was a little surprised to see Miles Straw in the starting lineup, because we don't like Miles Straw. But he was there, so yeah, he didn't do anything. Surprise, surprise. The Guardians ended up losing 4-0. Sunday, they played the Seattle Mariners, and the starting lineup was center fielder Estevan Florial, third baseman Tyler Freeman, right field Will Brennan, shortstop Gabriel Arias, catcher Austin Hedges, designated hitter David Fry, first base Kyle Manzardo, left field John Kenzie Noel, second base Jose Tena, and the starting pitcher was Tyler Beede, and the Guardians won 8-4 and hit 3 home runs. Monday, they played the San Diego Padres, and the starting lineup was left field Stephen Kwan, center field Miles Straw, again, bleh. Second base Andres Jimenez, first base Josh Naylor, right field Ramon Laureano, a designated hitter Bo Naylor, catcher David Fry, shortstop Tyler Freeman, third base Juan Brito, and the starting pitcher was Ben Lively, and they won 7-4 and hit 2 home runs. They also played today, and they got their butts kicked by the Oakland Athletics. That game just ended as I was getting my show started, so I don't have any of the details, but they lost like 11-2 or something ridiculous like that. And to wrap things up, I've got a little bit of miscellaneous college information. Cleveland State women's tennis's Ohane Vicario was named Horizon League Singles Player of the Week for the second time with a 6-2 and 6-3 win in the number 1 singles against Bowling Green. Cleveland State women's tennis's Selma Selma Townsend and Philippa Frogner were named Horizon League Doubles Team of the Week with a 6-3 win at the number 2 doubles against Bowling Green. Mount Union's Kennedy Waite set a national record in the 500 meter with a time of 1 minute 13.23 seconds. And also won OAC Most Outstanding Sprinter. And then she also was named National Athlete of the Week. Mount Union's Matt McBride won OAC's Most Outstanding Sprinter for the men's side. Mount Union's men's track and field won the OAC title for the 12th consecutive season. The women's track and field won the OAC title for the 3rd consecutive season. And Mount Union's men's lacrosse, Obrig Tolchief tied 2 school records in a 23-7 win over Thiel. And he was named OAC Men's Lacrosse Offensive Player of the Week. So congratulations to all of those ladies and gentlemen on their accomplishments this past week in college sports. And that is going to about wrap things up for today. So let's cue that music. That will be all for tonight. Thank you for joining me, Jen B, on the Show of the Land on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Be sure to follow me on X, Instagram, and Threads at BelieveLandGirl, and on TikTok at Jen, JENN.BelieveLand. You can also follow the show for daily updates on Cleveland and Columbus sports news on X at Show of the Land IE. Next up will not be the Buffalo Huddle today. Patty is taking the week off to prepare for her 100th episode, which will be next week after my show at 7 p.m. So the next show up will be Philly Sports Talk with Chris and Bobby. And that will be at 8 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. And be sure to catch me next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern on the Show of the Land for more on Cleveland and Columbus sports right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Have a great night, Ohio.
What?